believe many of us have heard of the term mom guilt, where we feel like we're not spending as much time with our kids as we want to. Now, I'm going to introduce to you a new guilt that I've been noticing called art guilt, where I find that I have not been creating as much as I want to, and I feel like I've not been really creating for the fun of it anymore. And you know how guilt works. The more you're away from something, the worse you feel about it. And there are a couple of ways we cope with this. We either avoid it further and not engage with it, which means I'm not going to be painting as much as I want to. And it becomes a vicious cycle where I start to go into this place of avoidance and feeling like I'm rusty and I'm not sure if I can go back in again. And then those imposter syndrome feelings just come about. Now, in today's episode, I want to work with you through some of these emotions that I've been facing lately while juggling my time with my 3 kids under 6. I've been working with sketchbooks, and while this has been a great opportunity for me to still pen in a little bit of creative time, I do notice that I'm craving more time, more space, where I want to paint on a larger scale. But at the same time, in this season of life, I'm also embracing what I'm able to do and making space for that. Having this small sketchbook practice has not only led me into trying out creating in new ways, but it has also created an impact on my kids where they too want to carry sketchbooks around to create and paint. During their free time, you would see them at the art table, just like how you would see me at the art table during my free time. One of the ways I have learned to cope with this art guilt was to make time, even if it's a small pocket of time. It doesn't have to be very long, and before I thought I had half an hour, and now maybe I only have 10 minutes. And I've decided that perhaps that is better than nothing, and I should still use that time to create something, even if it does not turn out to be complete. I believe that a lot of this is also about changing my mindset towards what my outcome needs to be, how things should look like at the end of an art session. Because before kids, I used to expect that by the end of an art session, I should have a completed art piece. Now, if we turn to master artists like Van Gogh and Monet, they used to take years to finish a piece of art. And I think that in the culture where everything is so fast-paced and on social media, everyone has a new piece of art to show for on their grid, it can feel really intimidating to not be making art. And it almost feels like we need to be constantly creating something new on a daily basis. When I started painting, it was always a thing about relaxation and calm, and I wanted to bring that back into my practice and make sure that I safeguard that so that I can continue to preserve this creative spirit in me. Now, the thing about art guilt that I noticed was it also made me feel as though I was rushing the process. I wanted to be somewhere else. I wanted to be better. I wanted to do more. I wanted to create bigger. There were so many expectations I was putting on myself, and as a result, the guilt kept growing bigger and bigger. Now, I'm really curious whether this is an experience that is just unique to me or if you are also experiencing something similar. I feel like while we are away from our art, this also gives us a chance to breathe and reflect on where we are in our practice, which is also really important. Once there was someone on YouTube who commented on one of my posts saying that being away from art is as important as doing the art itself. And that comment never left me because it made me also start to treasure the time that I have away from art, because when I come back into it, that fire I have inside has always been there all along, whether there is guilt or no guilt. Working on smaller scale projects or having portable materials, creating a small space so that you are able to create any time of the day, and also changing my mindset around creating and embracing the process and the season where I'm at have been some of the ways I've been able to deal with art guilt. I am so happy that you are here together with me, and I would love to hear what your comments and experience is with regard to art guilt. And until then, I'll see you again next week.